Woman wanted to secretly hide gold bars and jewelry inside soap for transportation. She first took a bar of soap and carefully cut it in half with a small knife. Then, she used the knife to carve out a rectangular space inside the soap, removing the excess material. Next, she took a gold bar and carefully placed it into the hollowed-out space. After aligning the two halves of the soap, she pressed them back together. To ensure no one would notice, Annie heated the knife over a flame. Once it reached the right temperature, she smoothed the surface of the soap with the heated knife. The heat melted the soap slightly, sealing the cut seamlessly. After the soap had completely cooled, there were no visible traces of tampering. Using this method, Annie hid all the gold bars inside the soap to avoid detection. However, outside the villa, there were many guards. They packed their belongings and headed to the entrance. Annie was about to hand the box of soap to the maid when the guards announced that they needed to check all outgoing items. Annie quickly pulled the box back. If the guards discovered the hidden gold, both of them would be arrested. Realizing that the plan wouldn't work, the maid acted quickly to avoid suspicion. She deliberately pushed Annie back inside and then shut the door. Calmly, she handed her own belongings to the guards for inspection. Back inside, Jack told Annie that he had a way to smuggle the soap out. After listening to his detailed plan, Annie was stunned. She never expected someone so young to be this smart. Jack then picked up the box of soap and calmly walked out. A guard stopped him for a search. They opened the box and inspected its contents. Seeing that it was just soap with nothing unusual, the guards let Jack go. Inside the house, Annie thought everything was going smoothly. But suddenly, another guard stopped Jack and asked why he was carrying so much soap. Jack explained that his school was organizing a laundry activity that week, since they had too much soap at home. He wanted to bring some for classmates who needed it. The explanation made sense, but the guard still wanted to check. He broke one bar of soap in half. Nothing was inside. Then, he broke a second bar again. Nothing. Annie grew extremely nervous. At this rate, if they continued checking one by one, the gold would eventually be discovered. Just as the guard was about to break a third piece, Jack stopped him. He told the guard there was no need for such trouble. If they were really looking for gold, they could simply use a metal detector inside the house. The guard thought Jack made a good point and let him go. Shortly after, Jack reached the outskirts of town. He took all the gold bars out of the soap and placed them into an aluminum box. Then, he buried the box in the soil. 10 years later, Jack returned and dug up the gold he had hidden. Looking at the box filled with gold bars, he was no longer the poor boy he once was.